Whoops.
And welcome to a semi-delayed, messed up intro to Behind the Mask. Oh my gosh,
Whoops.
dude. Yeah, I think I'm still stuck on Saturdays or Sundays time, and still need to wake up. But it's also weird. I looked at the start time. It went live, and as soon as it went live, it was like already 18 seconds in. I'm like, what the heck? I just clicked
Yeah.
it. That's weird. I think it's just a delay. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, as always, I'm your host, Eugene, and we are here with my other host, Dennis. How's it going?
It's going well.
And he
As you
is
can
coming
see, I'm in Texas, y'all.
he's coming to us from way far away in another country called Texas. So it's such a pleasure to have Dennis on tonight. And we've already got Mike on. What's going on, Mike?
Yeah, see? Look at that weird loop. I see. It's not just us.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on then. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, because I noticed again, it was 18 seconds had already lapsed, and I had just barely hit like the
The go
go
live.
live.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. And like already we're at 2 minutes. I'm like, where's the time going? We haven't even really been on. Me too, Lupe. That's just old age for you, so it's okay. You're all right. So, anyways, guys, we are back, and it is Monday, 7:30 ish, 7:35 for me, and 9:35 for Dennis, way out there in Texas.
That's
He was
right.
telling me about all this great food he's eaten so far, and all the wine he's drunk.
Yeah,
So,
2 wineries in 2 days. It's been pretty good.
yeah, well, I've been busy the last 2 days myself, and I don't think I've still got enough sleep to make up for Saturday. So, but you know what? Let's start off on a good note, like we always do. We're talking about our unofficial official sponsor who kept me awake from Friday till Sunday with all their great caffeinated. See, I can't even talk. But with all their great caffeinated drinks, that is Ghost. Papas, papas. Do they have Ghost out there in Texas?
I'm sure if I looked for it, I could find it.
Oh, you got to go look for it. But they've got a lot of great flavors, guys. One of my favorites is the Warhead Sour Green Apple. I love that stuff. And I didn't have any today because I had about 4 cans in the last 2 days. And it's more of like on one day. So that's enough caffeine for me for a while. So I got to lay off on it, and I'll probably have one tomorrow. So, but we do love that stuff. You guys check them out at ghost.com, ghostlifestyle.com. And again, they've got a lot of great flavors right there. I've got the red berry, orange cream, the watermelon, green apple, and the phase pop. Phase pop is pretty good too, especially on like these hot summer days that are now coming. That phase pop tastes exactly like those rocket pops, if you remember
It
those.
does. It tastes like a bomb pop.
Oh, it's so
Absolutely.
good. They're so
Yeah.
good. But if you guys want to try them out, you can find them at 7-Eleven, AM, PM. You could go to Stater Brothers. Target has them. Walmart has them. They're like all over the place now. And they've also got a lot of great supplements like proteins, pre-workouts, and other things like that. So check them out. Go to their website. Find them on Instagram at Ghost Lifestyle, Ghost Gamer, and Ghost Energy Drink. All right, there we go. Moving on to the stuff that smells good. Right behind me, that is our Dr. Squatch. That stuff makes me smell so good. I was smelling my own armpit. It still smells good. So yeah,
Yikes.
but right behind me, I haven't used it because I love the boxes. But that's the Beskar tar and the Force Fresh, which is really, they all really smell good. They've got
Yeah.
different grits that you can get, so not as grits as in the grits from down south, but as like the grit inside. You got sand in there and other stuff that helps to scrub it down, but it says on the box it's made for men,
That's
for
right.
manly men. If you want to smell like a man, that's the stuff to get. So check them out, drsquatch.com. They also have a lot of great other products like hair products, beard products, and stuff like that. So enough with the shameless plugs for companies that don't pay us, but we've been giving them tons of our money. Lupe, what is going on? Only in a haunted house. What happens only in a haunted house? I'm lost. There goes mom in the background.
Yep. There was mom.
So you guys, if you guys don't know, Dennis is in Texas. He's on vacation with his family, which is really cool that he got to get out there. I wanted to get out there too, but I couldn't really.
There's mom.
Look at that. Pink. Styling.
Yeah, they like your hair.
Oh,
Ghost
you can only find ghosts in a haunted house, is what he's saying. You can only find ghosts in a haunted house. Yeah, he hit us with a dad joke.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. I'll see him on Saturday. I'll be seeing Lupe on Saturday, so.
Which I feel really bad that I couldn't get you those shirts. Lupe, we have your Sexy Saxman shirt, and I'm gonna have to put it into a box and send it out to you. We do have a shirt for Niles, which is, and I didn't realize, because we've got the new logo, the new design, how big it was and how freaking sweet it looks on the shirt. Hey, you know what? Stop making fun of my hair. I don't have the Jeff hair tonight because I was busy on my computer trying to get stuff taken care of from the weekend. Is that better? So all I literally did was I had to come back in here, put together my whole setup here because I had to take it apart and take it with me. So, but we'll talk about that later, and you'll find out more about that probably on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got they're really cool shirts, and the logo, dude. Once I took the words out, separated it, and did what I did, by far looks so much better.
Cool.
So we've got new shirts that we're going to be wearing. I'm going to get you your shirt, but yeah, really cool stuff. So Lupe,
you muted yourself again.
Yeah, all right. So Lupe, I will get those shirts out to you so you could spread the love to Niles, and if you can do us the huge favor, and since you're going to be at the next NXL, toss a shirt to Rich and Maddie. Just throw it at them because they don't answer us.
Like as he's walking by. Look back.
Just be all behind the mask. Was and just boss in the face, man. He'll remember that forever.
That's right.
So, but yeah, so I'll get those out to you. Hopefully, when's the next NXL? Shoot,
It's in about a month.
A month? Okay, so I got time.
About.
All right. But yeah, so we got those shirts going on. I'm not wearing a paintball shirt today. I got the Get Up Kids going, which I love that band. And Haley will see them in Chicago. When?
Yeah. At the next NXL in August.
I thought so. Lupe, you're not going? Yes, no, maybe so. That means if she's gonna give him a shirt, that means I got to get her a shirt.
Yeah, well, I think we owed her a shirt from back in the day anyway. So.
Oh, that's true. We do owe her a shirt. So I got to get her a shirt too. So okay, so I got a couple of shirts I got to get together. So, all right. So, anyways, enough of this. We're just babbling on now. But I'm glad to see that Dennis made it.
Yeah.
To Texas, and he's been having a good old time over there. And yeah. Oh nope. Waiting till Cup. Would Haley do us that favor, and would she remember when she's there?
Well, I'm sure he could remind her. I don't think that'll be too much of an issue.
True. We had 3, now we're down to 2. So, all right, guys, we are moving on.
Yeah, exactly. Oops. I hit it one too many times there.
Yeah. All right, Lupe. Just rub it in. Just keep rubbing it in.
Well, you know what, though? I mean, I kind of was like, I was looking at a map and I kind of routed. Anyway.
Looked at the route?
Yeah. So if we fly into Texas and then drive with Niles.
Or Lupe.
If we fly into Texas and drive with Niles or Lupe.
Or we do Cannonball Run.
I don't know, man. That'd be a rough one.
Dude, I will so get you the Dom DeLuise costume.
Hey, why do I have to be Dom DeLuise?
Because he had a rounder head.
I was going to say it's because of the hair, right? Dang. Might as well call me Rodney Dangerfield. No respect.
Ride the bus? Well, you don't want to sleep in? See how it is. It's all right.
No, Niles is bus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have to figure that out, and we're going to have to probably do that. We're probably going to have to take a flight into Texas because I hear that the flights into Texas are pretty cheap still, especially if you're doing like a one-way.
Yeah.
And then we like ride in with them, and then whenever we get back to Texas after the event, we get our ticket out.
Yeah.
Do another one-way out.
Captain Chaos.
All right. Loop is Captain Chaos. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's get into this. And it is time to do what I did at the beginning of the show, which I really meant to do it right now. And that's all right. Time for some tourney talk. And we're going to start off with some moves that are going on or that have happened. And we'll start with boom.
Yes.
Jess Steffens. Jack Steffens. I'm sure only people from California would understand that joke, but
Jack Steffens. Yeah.
He found $100 round trip to Orlando.
$100 round trips to Orlando. Yeah, probably if we book them now.
Yeah. Shoot, man, we might do that.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. So,
yes,
we got with Jesse Steffens.
Yeah. Jesse Stevens coming back to AC Diesel.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I foresee Diesel actually starting to I foresee them starting to at least make more of a presence. I've got it saved there if you happen to see it, Eugene. There's some footage of Hinman talking to the troops on there that I said it last time. Now that Mike has taken over as coach of the team, we already know what he expects of his players. We already know how he likes the program to be orchestrated. They have too much talent on that team to not be able to pull off a better showing. So bringing back some of the more well-known players, some of the guys that have been with them for a while and know the AC style of ball, I think it's a good move because it'll help to get a more decent balance in terms of you look to guys like Mouse and Spica to make some of the big moves, and you get your tried and true guys to hold it down and do the little small intangible things that help the team succeed.
Well, I do want to show the video of Mike and what he was saying, but I was going to do it afterwards just so we can hear him.
Yeah.
And see him talking to these guys and trying to get them going. But so seeing Jesse coming back, yes, it's cool. And like you said, it's to have that, he knows the AC style to play, but they're not playing the AC style. They're playing the Hinman style.
That's very true.
So
that's very true.
Them allowing him to come back after he kind of left, it's cool and stuff, but he's going to have to now prove himself to someone who has a whole different style and a whole different outlook on things.
No, that's a fair point. That's a really fair point.
Yeah. That's why it's kind of like, okay, cool, he's coming back, but let's see what he can do. Because like you said, AC Diesel did make a really good presence at the last event. They were looking, it was night and day.
Well, yeah,
Totally
I mean,
night and day.
there was significant improvement over the previous events, absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, for as much talent as they've got on that roster right now, I as well as I'm sure everybody else out there is expecting a lot more.
Oh yeah, I mean, shoot, man, when you've got those players in there right now that are, you know, probably getting paid more than everybody else,
Yeah.
or have gotten paid more than everybody else, you expect to get your money's worth, and they didn't the first, you know, two events.
Yeah.
But now we see what them turning around because they brought in a new coach, which I think that's really what they needed. They needed somebody to spark new life into this, not just players, because I'm sure he could have taken the old roster and completely turned it around. And it might have taken more of the season, but you would have seen it improving.
Yeah, I mean, we would have seen eventual improvement, but I mean, assuming Hinman is going to use the similar formula that he had with Aftermath, I mean, that type of ball is all about a hard charge, and had they not picked up the big three, I don't know if AC's roster, I don't know if Diesel's roster necessarily had enough of the like that kind of youth energy, that youth movement. I mean, they had some younger guys on the squad already, but I mean, they were not of the caliber of, you know, Mouse and Spica and what have you, and J-Rab. So would he have been able to use those guys in that same formula? I don't know.
I think they would have probably picked up younger players, not so much like the big three, but they may have picked up other players, but could have turned it around. You know, I think Hinman's got enough experience, obviously, to be able to do that. So,
yeah, and I mean, we've said it before. Mike's pedigree speaks for itself in terms of not only being a coach and you know, running the pits, but as a player himself, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
He's kind of one of those you know, legends almost of paintball, and just in the terms of how long he's been around, some of the teams that he's been rostered with, the experience, it speaks for itself. So
true. So, and before we move on to the next move alert, Lupe, you said there's new news from the AC camp. Well,
he might have been referring to this.
Yeah, were you just
unless
referring
it's
to
something
this?
else?
If you got some other news, you got new news, then we'll take the new news.
Our Diesel correspondent in the chat there.
I should just take a picture of one of those news correspondents that are in the helicopter and badly Photoshop Lupe's face on it and have like news alert from Texas.
Yeah. So this is what he was talking about. It's Jesse coming back. Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one. We have. Should I do it? Should I do this? I'm going to do this. We haven't used this thing in a while. We haven't been using our sound effects to the full, like, capacity. You like that? I use a big word. There you go, Maddie Marshall. Oh wait. It's not a. It wasn't a news. It wasn't a sound effect as much as it is a. There it is. Next one.
What on earth was that?
Cody Dufon. So what you got?
I honestly don't know much about this gentleman at all, aside from the fact that you know, he's now the Latin States head coach. You know, that little blurb there that was on Instagram, you know, he's already got some established experience with some, semi-pro
Some
and
local teams here.
upper divisional teams.
Mhm.
I'm kind of curious to see if this is maybe one of those missing links that the Saints needed in order to start finding some cohesion, in order to finally start getting a little bit more, on track. They still have an uphill climb. I mean, they still have an uphill climb. They don't have a roster of superstars. They don't have, any one guy who's super explosive and can open up a game.
Dude,
That being said, it's not as though they're without talent. It's not as though they're without, enough to at least get out of the, the bottom three.
yeah.
So who knows?
I mean, right here it says to help stop the bleeding and make whatever adjustments are needed. Here's the thing. So I don't want to say anything about their talent, really. Well, I will. But you're talking about, you now have a roster full of kids, young guys that probably need to go back to semi-pro and cut their teeth more with that before they move into the pro division, because they're not just climbing uphill in this, they're pushing a boulder with them up this hill. Maybe
That's fair. That's fair.
This head coach can help them and move that boulder out of the way, and maybe they will be going up that hill still, but they do need to get, they definitely need talent. They need News alert, it's hot. It's Texas, Lupe. It's Texas. That's like California. It's hot over here. Oh, really? It's hot? Yeah. It doesn't get that hot sometimes. But anyways, so hopefully Cody can do something for the team, but I don't see it happening this year.
No, I don't think that this is going to be an immediate.
Oh no.
Excuse me, a immediate cure all for the team's ills. Again, they've got too much work ahead of them. But hopefully this will at least be a step in the right direction to get them out of that, out of the basement.
Yeah, but if they keep going at this rate, they're going to get relegated. They're not going to have a choice. No amount of money is going to be able to get thrown out there to save them this time.
But not necessarily. Again, there's obviously a lot of speculation behind it, but Fit having played as well as they have in semi-pro, you would think that they would have already bumped up, yet they stayed in semi-pro. So maybe there's something going on there where, JD is saying, well, we don't necessarily want to jump back into the pro ranks. We're fine where we are. And they're willing to sell their spot. And that's how the Saints are staying. Again, nobody knows this. And I'm not saying that this is, that there's any truth to that. But it could be literally a matter of money that somebody is willing to, let the Saints buy their spot because they don't want to make the jump for whatever reason, whether it's because they just are having too much fun, literally steamrolling everybody in semi-pro, or, if there's maybe a little bit more to it. I don't know.
And I just feel like, look, dude,
you should have been relegated already.
Yeah, but
you should have been relegated already.
If you've already bought your spot once and you can't stay in it, it should be like, all right, you guys had this was like your second shot. This is your third strike. You're getting relegated. That's pretty much it, because you're not doing anything, and you may be holding back a team that can. So again, it's nothing against these guys. I don't know anybody from the Saints. I've watched them play on, in the last few tournaments, and I'm not impressed. And
well, because again, right now they are equivalent to essentially like, a D4 team trying to make a jump to D2. They've got a lot of work ahead of them. They've got a lot of practicing to do. They've got a lot of gelling as a team to do. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of those guys played together previously, so it's not going to be quite as bad, but it's hard for them to impress a lot of people with the stigma that's surrounding the team already anyway. You know, with the whole Super Saints debacle, I know everybody keeps talking about it, but I mean, that literally kind of turned the pro ranks on its head when they announced the initial roster that first season, and then within one or two events, it wasn't even the same team. All those guys had left and went elsewhere. So
yeah, and it kind of sucked for the team because I'm sure they were banking on it. But the fact of the matter is that the bank was not giving anything out to these players.
There was no bank, exactly.
So that's why those players were like, "Really? All right, deuces, I'm gone."
Yeah.
So, but that is all the news alerts that we've got, and now we are going to, show that little clip, that little blurb that we were talking about, that Dennis bookmarked of Mike Hinman talking to AC Diesel.
And before you roll it, Eugene, everybody take a very close look to the shirt that Mike's wearing.
It is a behind the mask shirt.
Yes, it's behind the mask. Yeah.
Why are you not? Where's your volume?
Get a little more dynamic, most likely in our next match. We can't.
Why are we not
There
hearing
wasn't
it?
a big need for us to do anything crazy.
I could hear it just fine.
I didn't hear a thing on my side.
Yeah,
Really?
it took a while, but I started hearing it.
Little things here, little things there. Communication, kill counts. This is the softest team in our
I can hear it.
We cannot go after that game like this ends right here. We walk through that net, leave it all here, focus on the next match. We know they're about to play. We got to scout them. We're gonna have to get a little more dynamic, most likely in our next match. We can't.
Well, I'm glad you guys can
There
hear
wasn't
this.
a big need for us to do anything crazy.
Basically,
when
what
we're up
Mike's
with a 0 on their side. But on a 1 to a
That's what
10,
I see
I give us about
on
a
my
6.
side.
We need to get up to a 10. We have to step up. So the same fucking focus, intensity,
hear it again.
humbleness that we had coming in today, we need to have coming in the next match. That factors it's going to be a fucking barroom brawl with these guys.
Yep.
And hey, we're about that life.
Yeah.
But listen, we have to do our fucking job. I don't care if it's 6-0 on them. We have to just keep pushing ourselves to get better. Got it?
Yeah.
Bring it the fuck in here, boys.
There you go, boys. AC. Diesel. AC. Diesel. AC. Diesel. We're gonna win.
Let's go, boys.
Clinton Mouse.
Look at that shirt.
You see that?
Dude, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Tonight and all this stuff. Like, I heard nothing at all.
That's all right. I can now hear the sound coming out of your end now too. So
Yeah.
in the background.
Well, I was
so
watching, so I could listen to it again and talk about it. But
yeah, but I mean,
So let's
Mike
start
said
off
it
with-
right.
well,
What's
let's
that?
start off with the hippo in the room.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the cafe or the town, but the shirt. If that's not a big old giant finger to the NXL saying, "Look what I've got on. Look what I'm doing."
No, I don't think it's so much a finger to the NXL. I just thought it was ironic that with the WCPPL expanding, that he's running around in the USXBL shirt.
I don't know, man, but
He's like, hey, we got to do something with them. They're no good anymore, you know. No,
So-
I don't think it has. I don't think it's a direct response to the NXL. I think more than anything, he's trying to, he's trying to align himself with the, with the teams at large. Those specifically the ones who, played the USXBL, which is now WCPPL. I think that was more of a marketing move than anything else. I was briefly talking to Mike earlier this evening, and not to rehash stuff that we talked about previously, but in that whole situation with him buying out the USXBL to gain more of a presence in Texas and some of the Gulf State area, that was a direct response to Chris Rangel and Bunkerfest, But the thing that I've always found kind of funny about that, as well as kind of the NXL maybe sitting up and taking more notice of what Bunkerfest is doing, is that Chris has made it very clear he wants Texas, and that's it. And he pretty much has gotten it, but he has no wishes to push outside of the boundaries of Texas. Maybe doing another event in Louisiana, a Mardi Gras event, but that's because it's Mardi Gras. If you've been aligned with paintball for any length of time, that Mardi Gras was one of, if not, the key event next to World Cup. Everybody wanted to go to Mardi Gras, whether it was to play or to hang out with all your buddies and get up to trouble after the games were over.
Beads everywhere, just beads.
What's that? The beads. Yes, the beads. But no, I mean, Chris has made it very clear. He has his sights are not set on being a direct competitor with the NXL. Maybe within Texas being more of a being a direct competitor for WCPPL. Well, yeah, of course. That stands to reason, because it was the same thing with the USXBL. Bunkerfest wasn't necessarily looking to put them under, but at the same time, of course, you want people to attend your event versus the other event. And from what I understand, talking with Lupe and a few other people, the USXBL has kind of been on a bit of a downturn. So is this a shot in the arm that it needed? Maybe, probably. But yeah, I think seeing Mike there wearing the USXBL shirt, it was purely a marketing thing for him to be able to appeal to teams in that region. So,
all right, I'll take that. But on to what he was saying.
Yeah,
he wanted to say.
So I mean, but at the root of it, he summed up exactly what we were saying. He at one point he said, "We've been playing at a 6. We need to get to a 10." And that's actually pretty high praise from a guy like Mike Hinman anyway. Mm-hmm. Again, considering the level of talent that they have on that roster. Oh yeah, see, Lupe says the next event, next Bunkerfest in San Antonio is full. So
I mean, it's
expected. I wonder if they're going to open up the kids bracket again like they did to the last one. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
I think the kids bracket has already filled up too, right? 14 teams
in D5, 12 in D4. Yeah, that's significant.
Yeah,
that's really significant. But no, I mean, again, Mike said it in his own words, salty as they were. That they need to continue coming into the events knowing that they have work to be done. He said that, we have to continue to have that humbleness, but they need to work on that drive. They need to push themselves a little bit more. They need to go from here to here, I think they can do it. I absolutely think they can do it.
Yeah. It definitely,
okay.
XTPL
Sorry, go ahead.
Versus Bunkerfest, they're on the same weekend.
Same weekend.
Yeah, that's Lupe said that
kids bracket is sold out.
Yeah, they had sold out. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, Mike giving them, and like you said, that you guys are playing out of 6, that's a pretty good high praise. But he's still saying, look, we gotta get on it. And telling them, hey, these guys are about to play. We need to be scouting them out now.
Yeah.
And it's like, so that's telling me that these guys hadn't been doing that.
And it's funny you mentioned that too, because how many of these teams all, scrimmage together leading up to the first event? A lot of them have camps at the same time, because obviously it makes sense. Field time is expensive, and if you can split it between 2 or 3 teams, it's just that much easier. Not only that, but for the most part, a lot of these guys are all friends off the field, and so it's again, it's like getting back together and hanging out with your buddies and just balling out. But I think you bring up a good point, Eugene, in that for as much as they had the preseason practicing together, trying to gel somewhat, but they're scrimming other teams. They should have been doing that at that time. Now, obviously, Mike was not the coach at that time, so that changes things. But they should absolutely be. This isn't the NFL or MLB. With stealing signs and stuff like that. They absolutely should be scouting other teams. They should be watching game footage. Whether it's going back and watching the old feeds on Go Sports or something like that. They absolutely should be doing that.
Well,
And I wonder if they were doing that as well, or at least as much as they should have been.
They should be doing it also at the event, because things do change. They can change up their game plans, and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't see that before. When you're on the field, and now you're watching. So it's like your job isn't done when you're at a paintball event. You don't just go and you play your game and then go and relax.
Yeah.
You're on from the moment you literally get there till the moment you go home. You're on. Yeah. Because you should be checking out other teams as they're playing, especially the ones you're playing against.
And a great example of that is Damage. I mean, they pulled out. I felt like that they were kind of a dark horse in the last event, and they pulled out a win in that event. Now, obviously, they did it in a very spectacular fashion too. That one-on-one was just amazing.
Yeah.
But Damage is a good example of that. But another team that has been, had a really strong showing in the last few events has been Extreme. And I think a big part of that is Rich. Rich is still the coach of Extreme, and I know for a fact that he's probably doing exactly like you said. He's standing in the pits and he's kind of watching what some of these other guys are doing. He's analyzing their plays, and then adapting Extreme's on-field movements to either counter it or even to try and hit some of those spots before the other team can make them. So that's absolutely a tactic that should be employed more frequently.
I think Rich has a little bit of an unfair advantage than any other coach, because he's literally sitting up there and has a bird's eye view of every team as they play, even leading up to his team. So,
well, yes and no. That's the thing is if you go back and you kind of look at when he's up there talking with Maddie, Extreme has usually been knocked out at that point. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him as much in commentating this season if Extreme continues to play the way they have been. So,
well, they are doing well. So hopefully, they continue that, because they do need. We're finally seeing their potential.
And it's everybody still laughs at the fact that this turnaround came about as soon as Harris was gone. So
I said it when I heard that he left, and I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
and I still inwardly laugh at Rich's response when we said, "So what was the impetus behind that? Like, was that an amicable divorce?" And he just kind of went, "I don't know. Just Rich or Harris was on the team one day, and the next day he wasn't." Okay.
But come on. I mean, after talking to Rich, he don't care. He don't care who he pisses off or who because he's Rich. What are you gonna do? You gonna go poke the bear? I would not poke that bear.
Could you? But could you imagine? Rabbit hole time. Could you imagine? If like him and Pax and Hinman all put their heads together and did a super team of their own. Jeez.
That would be crazy.
And all three of them just like basically tearing the entire, player base down and then building them back up from the ground up. They'd be unstoppable. Oh my God.
Would. But all right, we're gonna get out of this.
Yeah.
And we have some. No, we don't. We don't have gear talk. We did enough.
No new gear. Still no new gear.
No, other than the Revy, and it's not even new. It's just
back.
Yeah, it's new-ish.
Yeah. I like many other people. Lupe has said it a bunch of times. Still waiting to see what Shocker / Lux is gonna do with new boards, new bolt system, something like that. But I think about it and I go, well, I don't know how much more renovation can be done. I mean, these guys have the people who are actually designing the bolt mechanism and it's obviously worlds beyond me, but I just, it's so hard to fathom how they could squeeze, even just another pod's worth of air efficiency out of it, or lowering the operating pressure any lower than it already is. It's
thing
just,
is, you can't speed it up. It's not like, ooh, our freaking gun now can shoot like 60 balls a second. It's like, yeah, but we can't use that when we go to tournament. You can't even use that when you go to a freaking paintball field, because it's like, any faster than what people can shoot already. It's just not fair.
Yeah. I mean, uncapped semi is unfortunately, it's gone the way of the dodo. Even for walk on.
Yeah. So know what?
Except don't tell anybody that my Shocker is on uncapped semi right now.
Well, now you just told everybody. Way to go, Dennis. All three people out there are going to be like, oh, we know what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, see, okay, so that Mike brings up a really interesting point, though. Maybe it's looking towards, changing formulation for the paint, coming up with a newer shell design or I should say material that maybe makes them lighter but more consistent in size and shape. I think Phil is gotten about where it can be. I mean, this stuff is next to near impossible to wipe unless you get it right away.
Yeah.
And I mean, pink is no longer allowed. I think bright yellow is pretty much the only color you can use anymore. That, or I think maybe green.
I've seen blue.
Oh, is there blue as well? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen blue.
Yeah.
But thing is that, which reminds me, shoot, I've got several boxes in my garage. I think I can't remember when the last time I turned them. Damn, I'm gonna have to see if they're still good.
I went and shot all of mine.
Oh, I haven't done that. Less mass to move.
Better air efficient. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. But the thing is that stuff like that's going to end up. It's going to end up costing less.
Interesting.
Oh, nice. No,
okay.
So that makes sure. All right. That's cool. Green. Oh, okay.
Green at XTPL. All right.
So there are other colors. We just haven't seen them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I do know that I haven't heard anything more about it. Going from gas car. Yeah, exactly. Like going from gas car to electric. That's true. I do know that Lone Wolf recently posted up on their Instagram some sort of a new prototype marker barrel system that looked really weird. It looked almost like a bore sizing kit, but that it's screwed into the breech, and then you screw the barrel on around it, and it self-adjusts to the size of the paint or something like that. I couldn't remember exactly what it was that he was saying, and it seemed very interesting, but it's also very nebulous because they don't go into detail about what it is. They don't say where they got it. You know, is this something that Cesar Pizzo came up with, or is it just something that, you know, somebody they know? I don't know. Oh, hey, there's a good one for you, Gene. Do you know what that is?
What's the efficiency of a Tippmann shooting pepper balls?
Yeah, you guys don't use less than lethal, do you?
Yeah, we use less than lethal, but the less than lethal, we don't even call them paintball guns. They're the pepper ball.
It's like the simunition, right?
No, they look like paintballs.
Yeah,
but it's a weird looking. I forgot what it's called, but it looks like kind of like a paintball gun, but it's not a paintball gun. And
but I wonder if it's like a Tiberius, like the old Tiberius arms or something like that.
I think it was, or I think it is, and we don't pull those out very often. Because in a riot situation like recently, we opted to have gas with us more than those. And then when they started telling us that they were, well, yeah, the cops.
That made me laugh.
the cops do have the A5s. I've seen that too. But yeah, we opt to use gas more than anything, and then also right behind it is we have the less than lethal shotguns that we'll use, because if we need to switch over to lethal, it's an easier transition. So.
Oh yeah, well, of course it's in Portland.
Of course.
Of course it's in Portland.
Don't even get me started, Mike. We'll end up getting canceled if I start talking about all them freaking hippie dippies that are out and that I would love to use those A5s on. And you know, when it was crazy, because when we were in the riots, we honestly didn't even have less than lethal with us. At most, we had our batons, and right behind the line was just lethal.
Yeah.
That's what I don't think a lot of people know, that because we were already getting reports of them prepping like Molotovs,
yeah,
and having actual like weapons on them. I mean, shoot, we had people come up to us telling us, "Oh, I've got my gun in the car. I can bring that out." It's like, dude, don't, please don't. So, but yeah. Anyways, Mike, let's go, man. Mike, it'll be all bad.
On. Mike, don't egg them on.
Oh, I will lay into this generation and all their stupidity. But anyways, all right, moving on. So yeah, I mean, as of right now, I don't see anything coming out in the paintball industry as any new innovations. Not even with our gear, like actual, like clothing.
Well, I'm starting to see a trend going back to a more traditional style with the pants. They're not the age of the jogger is starting to slowly fade. I like where Carbon is taking their pants right now. They're a slim fit, but they're not, you know, tapered to the ankle like a jogger. So that I think that's where we're going to start to see more and more of the designs going. You know, Carbon is making Dye's pants right now.
Well,
so
I think it's because they found out that all the fat boys can't fit into them joggers.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. We bend over and it's a plumber smile. You know?
Oh man, it ain't even a plumber smile. It's like almost all the way down, and you're like just all the nalgas just right there, pass. And then you stand, and it's like, what? And then you try to run in those things. I'm just trying to make sure that they stay up. I never like the skinny.
I don't know. I'm very like, it's a mixed bag for me, because when I think back to the Empire contacts that we had, you know, when we were on Keebler, they were just loose enough that, you know, it didn't feel constrictive or anything like that. But I always had an issue of it being just long enough that sometimes I'd step on the heel. So having something a little bit more tapered, but not again, not a jogger, it's a step in the right direction. You know, the Exalt V2s, the ones that I gave you, are real nice. They're more of an older style like that. Like I said, Carbon is making dyes pants right now. JT is starting to release a more just a tapered leg as opposed to a jogger style. The thing that I really want to see, you know, a lot of the companies go back to is the waistbands on some of the older ones were just a lot more. I mean, okay, elastic drawstring, it's fine, but again, you start to get a little. The problem with, you know, if your pack is riding a little high and then it starts pushing your pants down, where like a good example is the Bunker King pants that I sent over to you. They've got, you know, waistband cinch so that you can tighten it a little bit at the waistband. It's a button with the fly. You know, they stay
those.
up. You know, they fit better.
Yeah, because we don't wear belts with these pants, so we need some way to get them cinched up on us. But it's also those joggers, dude. They're just, they're meant for skinny kids that are like 12 years old. So, all right, enough of that, because we got to kind of start wrapping it up due to the fact that I got to get to bed because I do have to I leave for work tonight at 2, well, in the morning at 2.
Oh, I haven't, you know what? That's actually an interesting thing right there. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you there, Eugene. It's been a while since I've looked at some of Under's, you know, gear. I'd be real curious to see, because I know they'll do a lot of custom stuff as well. I wouldn't mind taking a look at those. Obviously, depending on who you talk to, CK still has really good product. Some people say they don't, but I've noticed that their jerseys are really cool. Yeah. But you know, I've got CK's pants are, you know, they've got a variety of styles as well.
Oh my gosh! Now everybody wants to chime in about pants. We've been talking about this for 15 minutes.
Okay, but are those the jogger style, the ones that, like, I mean, he's a very talented paintball player, but like Colt Lookout does not need to be wearing those joggers. He's a big boy. They do. I mean, if nothing else, they get ag points. They get ag points for the style.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, they make bull. Okay, so they make a more of just a tapered fit as opposed to a jogger. Okay, nice. Then I'd be real curious to see those. I haven't seen those yet.
Got to take a look at them. But all right, guys. So we are going to start wrapping it up, definitely, because again, I still got to take a shower and I got to get to bed. So I want to make it up to work in one piece, even though I hate my work. So guys, again, it's been great to be on. If we had more time, we definitely would go into more, even if it was just babbling on like we always do for a good hour and a half. Because there's so much that I have to talk about as far as what happened this weekend. But Wednesday, you guys can catch us on the Geek Saga. It'll just be me and Dennis here because David is on vacation again.
I may not be able to be on because
it'll be just me talking about whatever it is that's going on. So I might bring somebody else on. Who knows? But definitely check out the Geek Saga. I will be talking about Silver Age Con that I just went to this weekend, and also we'll be having a special guest on that show. If you guys do know about anime and all that stuff, we have Jackie Lastra, who will be coming on not this Wednesday, but the week after, talking about all her great things that she does. So we're really excited about that. On this show, as far as guests, we are still looking for guests. Still looking. And we're looking. And we're looking. Oh, we haven't gotten anybody yet. So rewatching Tank Girl. Oh my god, that movie is like a whole other, just bonkers. It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Yeah. And What We Do in the Shadows, yes, that is coming back. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I wasn't too keen on the last season. It wasn't as good as the previous seasons, but I still like the show. So looking forward to that. But all right, guys, we will be back here again on Monday at 7:30. Dennis will be back here in the States after
That's right.
his gallivanting through Texas is over. He will be going to see Lupe and meeting up with Lupe and Niles, right?
Hopefully. Niles said he should be available on Saturday. I'm just going to reiterate it here in front of the whole world. Lupe, 4:00, Leona General Store, Saturday.
There you go. I hope you have your cameras, take pictures, run some video, and all that stuff so we can get that up on the Instagram. But all right, guys. So the best way to find us is on Instagram at Behind the Mask Media. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We're working on that OnlyFans with Dennis in the jersey, and that's all. And his Crocs, because we gotta have those.
Which came to Texas with me, by the way.
Huh?
My Crocs came to Texas with me.
Oh, nice. Well, those Crocs will be looking up and probably be like, "Oh my god, no, there's nothing else on." But you can find us on all those social media platforms, and by all means, if you want to get a hold of us, you guys can DM us on Instagram. Both me and Dennis check it frequently. And also, if you want to, or an alternate way of communicating with us is through email. You can get us at our Gmail, which is behindthemaskmedia@gmail.com. So all those ways to communicate with us, all those things that we use and try to communicate with you guys. But also, in order to keep these lights on, and believe me, I want to keep the lights on because it is not an easy thing to do. We have to obviously pay for our streaming to be able to do all this wonderful stuff and have all this without any like logos and stuff other than our logo. But we are going to be asking you guys to.
You gave me a cookie, I gave you a cookie. You gave me a cookie, gave you a cookie. Gave me cookie, got you cookie. You gave me cookie, I got you cookie, man. Gave me cookie, got you cookie. We're even. We're even, Schmidt.
So
we are even.
Well, we're not even. We're in the black, but
wow. Well, in the black is good. In the red is bad.
We're in the red.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to help us just for a measly $5 a cookie, you could help out two poor paintballers to continue with this wonderful podcast that you guys are watching. All two of you guys, it's great. I love you guys. But it's the best way to get a hold, or best way to help us out is by doing that. As soon as we get our shirts up and we get that website up, which again, we need some support. We need some help. We're definitely going to get more stuff out there once we get our shirts rolling. We can start paying for our own stuff without having to ask for donations. But this is the way to do it. Buy a cookie. Go to our Instagram. It's on the link tree, very top thing. It says buy us cookie. Buy as many as you want. We're always happy to take them from you. We're happy to take your money. But that's the way to do it. So, guys, that is pretty much it for us. I'm going to say, yeah, it's been great. Love being on the show, as always, and always love hearing from, like, Lupe and just anybody who jumps into our comments, guys. Thanks. Thank you for the support. And if you guys are watching this after the fact, try to mark down 7:30 on a Monday, and we're talking about Pacific Standard Time. For those of you guys who don't know what Pacific Standard Time is we're in California. So if you're on the East Coast, we're 3 hours behind you. So, yeah, you can do the math. But, help us out. Join us. If you're watching us right now, do that. Punch that subscribe. Yeah. Do that. You can subscribe so you can actually get a notification when we're going to go live. And also hit those likes because those likes help us out too. So,
they do.
By all means, do that, please. So let me get this set up so I don't mess this up the way I messed up our intro. Make sure that I'm in the right spots. There we go. There's that one. There's that one. All right, guys. So, as I always say, get out there, drop that cash on the counters of those stores, help them out, because the more stuff you buy, the more stuff's made and all that other stuff. You know, if you don't know how e-com or commerce works and all that other stuff, well, your school did a bad job. But help them out. It'll grow them, which will in turn help the sport, along with going to those paintball fields. Drop that money on their counters also, because it helps them to start improving their fields, which we've recently seen at somewhere close by to us. Good on them. They're finally taking that money that they've been hoarding and now spreading the wealth. So definitely, guys, get out there, play more paintball, grow the sport and all that other stuff. And as always, I say, if you can shoot, you can move, then you can play.